Hey guys, hope you guys are well. Welcome to our first live video in a while. My name is Dillion phiri. I'm the founder of Creative Nestlings. Hope you guys are staying safe, sane, healthy, and I guess doing what's necessary to stay safe and healthy. I hope you guys are not out there in the streets about partying it up and stuff. Or I'm seeing some of you guys doing that. That's not good, guys. Let's wear our masks and stay home as much as possible if you can. It's really quite interesting to be alive right now. So, I mean, if you know me very well, I'm not the biggest fan of being live. Hey, Palisa. I don't like lives very much because I don't like being seen. I pretty much stay at home 99% of the time or in coffee shops. But yeah, thanks for joining this live. It's the first time we're trying to structure it better because the guys at Sharp-Lee, who's going to join me now has trusted me with this, and I don't like lives. I hope you can hear me well. I hope it's well lit. I was told to pick a corner with good light, put it in the studio vibes and stuff. Yeah, so we're going to be basically talking about publishing a book, basically. So how do you go about publishing a book? If you know me, I'm a big fan of books, and my peers know me as a guy who likes books and stuff and magazines and everything. So yeah, hopefully you get to learn something and be able to create a book of your own, and then hopefully use it and make money. There's a lot of money in books, especially if you do it quite well. But this is in partnership with, I know I'm gonna say it, Department of Arts and Culture, Sports Arts and Culture, here in South Africa. They funded the guys at Studio Lichi to create a series of talks via Creative Nestlings online and stuff, and support their business, what they're doing and stuff. But Sharp-Lee will get into that as we go about it and stuff. I'm just waiting for him to come online. But if you have any questions, please use the button there that says questions to ask the questions and stuff. And then yeah, but how are you guys keeping? How are you guys doing? What are you guys up to? Are you guys doing work, or what are you guys up to currently and stuff? Where's everybody at? I see some of you guys, KB, Tamba, Palesa and her brother, V, Nolo, everybody, Horsey. Yo, some of you guys. Okay, Lee's there now. Lee request Noma, Chepo, Shaquille. Okay, everybody. I hope you guys are good. Chikani. I'm trying to get this over with quickly, so Sharp-Lee must come online now so we can get it over with, because I'm not good at Instagram lives. I feel awkward. This is awkward. You're talking to yourself, basically. But yeah, hopefully. Okay, KB, call me afterwards. Yeah. Where's Sharp-Lee? Is it? Yeah, my favorite photographer is online. TC. Everyone's my favorite photographer. Everyone's my favorite creative, but TC is my personal favorite. I'm allowed to have personal favorites, not Creative Nestlings. Yeah. I hope the audio is good. Yo, Sharp-Lee, play. You must Okay, there. I think I should be able to. Technology. I should know very well much about technology, but I don't. Is it requesting or not requesting? Yo, Lichi said, you must accept the request. It says it's waiting for you. Wow, all of you guys are really wanting to hear about self-publishing, which is good. We want to see more books. We want to see more books from the continent about the creative industry, what you guys are making, your photo books, your writer books, whatever, art books, fashion books, there isn't much, you know. I don't think you guys have ever gone. I don't know if you've gone to like a exclusive books or whatever and try to buy a book from around here. Um, it's quite hard to find anything that is like, if you want to know what's happening in the creative industry, who are the creators, what they're making here in South Africa, it's quite difficult to get. I'm struggling with Sharp-Lee now. Hello, Sweeter Brown. Hello, Wonga. You know what's quite interesting about Instagram handles? Now when you're live, you're seeing people's names. Now you're trying to remember what their real names are so you can greet them properly. That's always weird. Because now I can't necessarily leave the live and go check what is your real name. So, anyway, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to go live with Sharp-Lee again. Hey, Nama, hope the little one's good. Yo, Sharp-Lee.
Yo, 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 yo.
What's up, man?
I'm super. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Nice.
Try and get. I forgot how awkward this is. No.
Yeah, I saw you struggling for a bit there, but you held it down.
You were supposed to check in immediately as I got on. You were supposed to come on.
I was still trying to find this request button, but now I figured it out.
Wait, someone's asking about Cape Town events, guys. It's Corona, you know. It's Corona. But anyway, cool. How are you doing?
I'm great. Yourself?
I'm alive, man. I know I'm down the street from you, but you know, I'm alive. I haven't seen you since.
You haven't seen me since?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Julio, let's get into it. Let's get into it for the people.
Alright, cool.
You know? Let's respect their time, the human. Oh wait, this is recording and it's gonna save, right?
Yeah, at the end you just need to kind of do like 2 final checks to say save. Yeah.
All right.
But it will record.
Okay. Hello, Studio. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, so shout out to you guys at Studio Litchi and By the Way of Illustration. I guess we'll get into that now. And as a culture, sports as a culture, for allowing us to do this, to share some in-depth knowledge, basically. So this is the first one, and then over the next few weeks, basically, will be more like PR, producers, artists, writers, whatever, that kind of stuff. Conversation with those creatives and stuff. And I'll be hosting them apparently. So yeah.
Yeah.
But people, I don't know, introduce yourself, what you do, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm a design student, studied at UJ, kind of worked in advertising for a while before freelancing, and then from that I started a company, Studio Litchi, that kind of I trade all my skills underneath. I remember when I was in varsity, I was afraid of being unemployable, so I kind of figured out, I kind of learned to learn new skills. So I've learned quite a few skills. I edit, I shoot, I design, I animate, I do 3D, I do AR, and now a publisher. So yeah, it was kind of the fear of being unemployable or kind of finding myself in a place where I'm pretty much don't know what to do, you know. So I learned all these skills, and yeah, here we are. Yeah, writing books and stuff.
Cool. I guess I should myself. My name is Dillion S. Always in small cap. I'm the founder of Creative Nesting. I'm a freelance photographer sometimes when I feel like it. Freelance filmmaker, director. I'm also a publisher of books, the lover of books, and I'm advocating for self-publishing because I'm trying to get creators to make all the money. What else? I'm a father to one doing it. They probably won't see this the next 10 years of their lives. What else? Yeah, I like coffee, and I enjoy being in the creative industry in Africa. Basically. Yeah, coolio. So
Away.
according to the notes, we must discuss our projects. So I'll start because I have the book already. Mine printed out. Yours, you're working on getting printed. I'm just going to introduce my book that I did. So in 2017, I came up with an idea of a book featuring all the creatives that spoke at our talks and stuff. And then this was like I don't know if you guys can see it clearly.
Yeah.
This was like this is the first version of the book. This was printed in a printing shop. It falls apart basically into individual pages because it was a shit show. But it was just proving a concept and stuff. It was called What It Takes. It's 60 creatives, basically 60 creatives that at our talks that we invited to come and share their stories and all that kind of stuff, but giving quotes, snippets, and advice on how they did it and how they're making their livelihood work and stuff. This is another version of the book, which is for sale. Basically, it's like a photo one side, text one side. That's about it. So that's the book and stuff. And yeah, it did quite well. We sold about 200 copies so far. We haven't more, but the book is self-published. The cover is by Musonda Kabwe. He did illustrations that are in the book and also
Moose.
inside the book. What's his name? Eko Suminya. He did that. Or the design of the book inside and everything. It took us a couple of months to finish up the book, but the actual book was done within a month. But then just being here, editing the ideas and all that kind of stuff. But that's the story of our book. Basically, it's called What It Takes. It's not available right now. We're going to do a reprint for hardcover later on this year. Hopefully next month. Hopefully this month or next month, depending on finances and all that stuff. But yeah, in your book.
Yeah. So I would say my book kind of really inspiration comes from back when I was studying. We had to write all these essays, and we would have to find references and find people to write on. And all the references we would find was either international or guys that yeah, or nobody that looked like me, you know. So now that I had the chance, inspired by you and what you guys are doing with Creative Nestlings and your last book, I thought of starting the event series by way of illustrations, where I kind of created a community around illustrators and yeah, just started a conversation about making it as an illustration, but also kind of exposing people to all the different elements or all the different pipelines you can go down as an illustrator. So from fashion to animation, we've had designers, we've had guys that do web, we've got architects that have been on by way of, you know. So it was just really kind of creating that conversation on illustrators and how we can all work together to kind of take the industry to the next level. So then after the first season of the event series, I thought of, how do we kind of have these ideas live longer, and as opposed to just have it end at the event and the video post the event, and that's where the book came out. And yeah, it's just 140. Wait, should I get into the details now or wait?
I mean, if you want to.
For a bit. Yeah. So it's like 148 pages book, hardcover book, featuring 11 illustrators. Got Cindy Sonyoni doing the forward in the book, Mr. Dillion phiri in lower caps doing the last words. Yeah, dude. And the structure of the book is basically an introduction to the illustrator, a Q&A, and then 10 pages about 6 pages per illustrator of their work. So it's a very graphical book. Yeah, man. And that's the book in a nutshell.
Yeah. I mean, I guess let's start into so I got a call the other day. Someone asked me, so they want to make a book. They don't know where to start. You know, and the first thing I asked them, what is the name of the book? They didn't have an idea. I think that's where it starts. I think with the initial concept, like basically, what is the for creative nestlings? Actually, it wasn't supposed to be called What It Takes. Our book was initially called Creative Nestlings. but then design-wise it wasn't working out. I couldn't do it. And then it was called Conversation and Creativity because it's based on our talks. I didn't like the name for this particular book because the book wasn't necessarily there and stuff. So I guess in studying a book before, like people always have an idea of what they want to make a book and all that kind of stuff. But I always believe once you name something, it becomes alive almost. Particularly with books and ideas like so. How did you come up with the name for by way of illustration, for example, as a concept?
So initially, the event series was going to be called Lychee Features.
Yeah,
My illustration, aka, is Lychee San. So yeah, it was going to be Lychee Features, and I was going to go and collaborate with some of the illustrators that I knew, and then have a talk based on that collaboration. After getting some advice from Mr. Dillion Phiri, all lower caps, yeah, the name kind of had to change because it was so, yeah, it was about, yeah, it was just about me, and it didn't kind of, it wasn't inclusive. That's the word I'm trying to
yeah,
say, you know, and hence, by way of illustration, by way of came through. And yeah, man, I guess it kind of sums up what the whole event series talks about. We are about illustrators for illustration. And also by way of is almost an open bracket kind of statement because it still can be by way of illustration, by way of photography, by way of whatever you're trying to master, you know. So yeah, the name really comes from the idea of, yeah, illustrating and do by way of doing it, by us showing you how we've done it and gotten to the place of, I mean, gotten to where we are. Yeah, you can also follow the same steps.
yeah. And then in terms of okay, once you came up out with the book, the name of the book, or the name of the event series, what inspired you to then to be able to? Also, what is the book exactly about? So if I grab the book when it comes out now, what will the book? Or what should I get out of the book itself? What's the concept?
At this at the beginning it was more of just kind of profiling illustrators and showcasing their work, but from gathering all the content and interviewing all the illustrators, it kind of now speaks more to the idea of legacy and what we would like to leave our legacy as, and over and above kind of leaving a name behind, we would like to have our legacy kind of exist now. We would like to all to be household names, you know. And yeah, we can't really wait to be featured or wait for brands to kind of put us on. You know, we kind
Yeah,
of need to do the work ourselves and kind of take that out where necessary.
yeah. Okay. And then once you have the concept and stuff, I guess we start getting to the people always ask the nitty gritty stuff. For my experience of our book, we went through. I kind of already knew what paper I wanted, based on reading magazines like Monocle magazines, based on reading like other books that I'd seen around the world and all that kind of stuff. Um, how much time do you think it took for your book to kind of come about? And so, how did you come up with the idea of the size, and how did you set up the size of the book and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, as I said earlier, I'm a student of design, so I've been designing books, and I've
Yeah,
got a bit of background on the designing and setting up for print and all of that. I mean, yeah, so already I kind of had an idea of what I was going for, but also budget did kind of
yeah,
direct what the final format was. So yeah, we ended up going A5, and yeah. So yeah, I mean, I do have my ideas of what a good book looks like, and yeah, that's kind of what I had at the back of my mind when putting this book together.
yeah. And then, okay, so now you have an idea of what the size and the paper and all that kind of stuff looks like. I think the one thing I got asked the other day was the ISBN number. I guess, I mean, each country has its own, so it's like a barcode in the back of the book, and I think almost each country has its own. I think, yeah, globally, each country has its own place where you can get an ISBN number. This ISBN number kind of allows you to track um what do you call it, your book when if it goes into exclusive books, whatever, and all that kind of stuff. globally and stuff. I mean, how easy was it for you to get one? For me, it was quite easy. So a simple email. I don't know how easy it was for you.
Yeah, it's easy. It's straight to the point. You email, you fill in a form, a few documents. But with that, I think because it's free, you kind of have to donate a few books for certain archival,
Yeah.
yeah, departments. So I think it's about 3 or 4 books that you kind of need to donate to those archival collections. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's
straightforward.
funny, actually. I think I actually owe what do you call it, the department for 3 books for the ISBN number. But they never asked me. They never told us where to submit the what do you call it, the books at. So that became a bit of a challenge there because they'll give you the ISBN number, but they don't tell you where to put the where
The
to submit.
actual.
Yeah, the library that you're supposed to take the books at. That's why I had to give them books and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But it's free. But then online, I think people should be quite careful online. There are companies that charge for you to get the ISBN barcode. So the government gives you the number, and then you have to go create your own barcode. So there are these online generators for this barcode. So be quite careful. There are free ones, and then there are paid ones. So be cognizant of that. I think that's one thing I would caution in terms of the ISBN number and stuff. It's a simple barcode. It might look insignificant, but it's like tricky. It's like the serial number. I'm trying to show it. Is it showing properly? Yeah, there. It's a serial number
Yeah.
basically for your book, and it's free from each country. I think I had to get someone the other day for Kenya. I helped someone get one from their own library authority, basically. The department, I think, yeah, one of their departments and stuff. So it's a good place to do once you have the ISBN number and stuff. It's a good place. And then once you get your ISBN number, then only then can you start looking at quotes for printers. For example,
Yeah.
because you want to be able to know how many pages you're printing and all that kind of stuff, and then so they're going to ask you for your ISBN number and all that kind of stuff because that they also need it for their tracking purposes and everything. Where are you printing your book, for example?
I'm printing with a company in Durban, Impact Printers. But yeah, they ended up being the cheapest all around.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, for a sample of the book, they were charging about 600-700, and then for the in other places around Joburg for the sample, they wanted 2 grand or 3 grand,
Yeah.
so which is ridiculous. But it's a unit, so yeah, I guess unit prices
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. And I mean, how many quantities are you looking to print in total? I guess.
Aiming for 1,000 units on the first print run,
Yeah.
but that depends on how our pre-sales go, and also yeah. But yeah, it all depends on how our pre-sales go. But yeah, 1,000 copies, hopefully. But if not, we're just gonna just have to get a lesser run, and then hopefully the second run is bigger than the first.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
one thing to check on, a good place to get quotes would be another printing company. It's called Printulu. But they don't do
yeah.
hardcover, softcover books only. Another one is Print on Demand. They do hardcover and softcover also. And then online, a friend of mine who's doing Cedric's book, Cedric Ndaga's book, he prints for via an online company called Peecho, Peecho. They do law softcover magazines and hardcover books and all that kind of stuff. Something to check out definitely in terms of if you're looking to print quantities and online and all that. And so they do print on demand. Also, you're able to order one book per order and stuff. You can integrate into your online store. So that could be another option for particularly for magazines. Not necessarily cheap for hardcover. Yeah.
Yeah. And the only flop with those is that they're international, and
Yeah.
it's not local, and the prices kind of end up adding up at the end of the day to
Yeah,
like
for shipping and
extra
all like that.
extra.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I've seen that with Blurb. I initially wanted to print my book via Blurb, but then what was killing me the most was shipping price also, and individual quantity price. Whereas here in South Africa, you can just go to Durban and get your book and stuff. It's
yeah,
way cheaper than printing online and stuff sometimes. But then it depends what you're printing. If you're printing a magazine, it tends to be cheaper to print internationally and stuff. Because it's quick and they already have good paper. I mean, South Africa we struggle with paper. I think that's another thing. Yeah. Oh, so someone asking printer name for magazines. Yeah, for magazines, it's Blurb and Picture. They are good. I'll post it in there. Yeah. So those two companies are good for printing magazines and stuff. Um, okay, can you hear me better now, Nevern? Okay. So yeah, so once you get your printer like quotes and stuff, that also help you set the price. Because then
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what individual units is. Yeah. And that's
Yeah, I
all.
mean, I guess. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I guess the price is figured out from like how much the unit cost is, but then also you need to consider like the actual design time, but then also consider the time you're going to actually like record. Yeah, all of these stages require budgets. You know,
Yeah.
luckily on my side, since I have the studio, I kind of could mitigate those costs to some extent because just working into the studio work and yeah, using all the skills. So collecting footage and photography was what I did myself to mitigate those costs. The design and layouts we did in studio to mitigate the costs. So the only cost really that went out was for the writer, the editor, and then the printing of the books.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me the cost. Well, everything was a cost because I don't have the necessary skill sets. Because the cover of Musonda, we had a deal with Musonda that he gets paid from the printing. Also, once we print the hardcovers, he gets his money from there in terms of sales. And we came up with a figure from that for his basic quote. If it's same thing with the design inside with Able, he gets paid from the actual sales of the book and stuff. So I didn't have to pay them upfront because that was our deal and relationship and stuff. Because we have a good relationship, I guess. Yeah, but this can be your cost, your design, and then also the editing. I had to ask a few favors from people to help edit the book. Some of them will get paid from the from the actual sales, and then the photography in the book, all of it is sourced from photographers. So I'd ask permission and all that kind of stuff, and sign up for free and all that kind of stuff. So I guess those are the different cost implications that I got. I mean, you're saving a lot of money because you are able to do everything. 90% of things you're able to do yourself, so you get to keep your costs quite low and stuff. For me, it was more, yeah, I had to make deals with people to pay them after the fact once the book goes on a bigger print run and stuff. Because the goal in mind was we both had the same vision of what we wanted to do and stuff, and a good portfolio for both sides and stuff, or for all three sides and everything. So I guess that's it from the actual design of the book. So hiring a good designer, illustrator, and the book cover is everything. I don't know how you feel about you are a design person. I believe in book covers. Book covers change. Like I judge a book by its cover when it comes to books and stuff. I don't know about you.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm all about pretty pictures and stuff. Um, yeah, I think the cover does kind of is important in the sense that it should kind of depict what the book is about before you even read the back of the book, you know. So yeah, I think we had like a few versions of the cover before kind of settling on what we went with.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think I just want with the our books cover, we just wanted to communicate the ideas of just really authentic African talent, you know, African greatness just doing itself without, yeah, doing it itself for us, by us, you know.
I lost you for a second there. Hello. Okay, I think I lost him. Um, but yeah, so the book cover is super important. I'm sure you guys are aware of our book cover. I'm trying to show you guys. I'm just trying proper. Let me just try and edit him again. But the book cover, yeah, is super important because people judge a book by its cover. They'll pick it up based on the cover. That's what excites them. Um, and I've seen it with a lot of books. So this is the Sharp-Lee book. This is their book. That's the cover and all that kind of stuff. And the book cover is important because it helps kind of garner what's getting an idea of what the book is going to be about. And I think sometimes people forget that they focus on what's inside more than what's outside and stuff. So I think definitely look into getting a good designer for a book cover. I know there's a cost to it and stuff, and I really implore you, please invest in a good book cover. It carries so much weight. Having a good book cover, it sells itself basically, and I think people forget that when they're publishing books and stuff. And a good example of that is one of my favorite books is by this one. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. Some writers give you two heartbeats by what's his name? Tinashe, the guys from Black Chalk and stuff. One of the best book covers I've seen. This is done by what's the name? Nonsi. Nonsi did this book design and stuff, and the idea is carried throughout the entire the entire book basically. The design is carried throughout and stuff. So it's really important to invest in a good book cover and stuff. Yeah. I lost you there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I was just explaining about the importance of book cover and how some of my favorite books I judge them based on the book cover. I know you know I believe of that, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I think.
yeah.
Oh no, okay. Oh, I was gonna say, for me, I remember as a kid, I always used to kind of get pushed to go to the library by my dad because he didn't like us hanging around in the streets.
Yeah.
So then he would make us go to the library. But then I'd get there and not read books. I'd just find books with images in them and go through those,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
books with words kind of really don't appeal to me. Hence, when you asked about book covers and books with words, I was just like,
Yeah. No, I hear you. Even me, like I struggle to read nowadays. I don't know, just maybe the internet culture. But if the cover is great, I'm already like intrigued. You know, I'm already like, oh wow, let me check out this book because I think it's got something interesting in it. But if the cover is bad, then I'm like, you know what, never mind. It takes a lot for me to end up reading that book or whatever and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, enough about the book cover. I mean, the design inside. I mean, depending on your designer, most people use Adobe software. Most people use grams and stuff. I don't, you use Adobe InDesign also, right?
yep, Adobe InDesign.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, to execute the book fully, it was Adobe InDesign, Adobe Lightroom for editing the photos, and then Illustrator for all some of the patterns that are used throughout. Yeah, yeah. So those three programs kind of helps put it together.
Yeah, and the printers will want a PDF. I mean, the RGBs. I don't want to get into that kind of colors and everything because that's more the designer's role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and RGBs for screen, CMYKs for print. Just let me
Okay.
know, bro.
I see. And then
Yeah, so the printers would want a PDF, and then I
yeah,
think the only thing to note is bleed. Just making sure that you've got enough bleed so that images that bleed off the page don't get cut off and there's white left over.
yeah. Oh, dope. That's amazing. That's amazing. I just left that to the designers. I'm like, yo, send me a PDF, please.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I hope you're not those kind of guys that just say send me a PDF and give the designer hell and ununderstandable deadlines.
Well, I mean, if you ask Musonda and Abel, they'll tell you the deadlines. Where I think our cover took a weekend. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I sent him an idea I'd seen, and then he just executed it very well. Yeah, and then what's the name? Abel did the overlay. The fonts were a bit of a challenge. Me and Abel were fighting over the fonts and stuff. I wanted more modern fonts. He wanted old school fonts. He won because he's designer and stuff. So, respecting your fellow creatives and stuff. Yeah, but then I think let's talk about the most important part, the money part. So
Cool.
I got asked a lot, like, so now how do you get to print? I mean, you spoke briefly. Take me through. Okay, what's your plan for getting to print? I know you mentioned pre-order, but just take the people through that process. I can speak about that also because I also did that also. Yeah.
So getting to print, so maybe let's start back. So initially when I started, I mean, the plan was to get all the content as quick as possible, through relationships with the Hive network. I was able to get equipment, and then yeah, I was able to line up all the people that I needed to get content from, shoot that, which yeah was the first task, and then the second task was getting everything transcribed and then written out, and
Yeah.
then just starting to design everything while the editing was happening. So up until then, I didn't have to kind of really let go of any cash up until the editing and writing and transcribing and writing stage. So I wasn't really strapped for cash up until then, but now that the book is going into print and then there's cost coming up, this is now when funds are required. As much as I've put over the last few months, it's still gang required, you know. So yeah, the idea of pre-sales comes from that. So in trying to kind of creates a soft landing so that it's not I'm able to kind of get the numbers that are required to maximize
Yeah.
the profits.
Yeah, I guess I mean that's where the book cover comes in and some of the content designs that with the book cover you're able to create an online store and put out a press release and stuff so people can pre-order the book. Like people seeing the cover, people already trust that the book is going to look amazing and stuff. That's why I think I really advocate for having a good cover design because then you're able to use that book cover design to get people to pre-order the book at a cheaper price, but then that gives you printing money. So you can take that money. So, for example, if your book costs you, it's going to cost you 70 grand, 70,000 rand to print 1,000 copies, then you are able to make some pre-orders. For example, you can do like 200 pre-orders at 350. For example, that's what you're doing now. That gives you enough money to get to print. That's what I did. In terms of pre-orders, we did our pre-orders also just enough to get to print. So we were able to print the numbers that we wanted to and still sell more copies and all that kind of stuff. So I guess that's where
Yeah.
the book cover design, the about text for the book, and the what do you call it, the online store, and then a newsletter and pre-orders kind of working as a way of self-funding the book basically without having to go through your traditional funding programs and all that stuff. The money is there for printing books, but then it's not necessarily as accessible as it's supposed to. So pre-orders help fund the book without you necessarily going out there and looking for money, asking people for money and all that kind of stuff. Whereas you're making pre-sales before the actual thing comes out helps a lot. That's why we did our book. That's what I'm going to continue doing with our stuff, basically, and stuff. Yeah.
Have you considered getting a publisher? Well, now that the project is done, getting a publisher for maybe a distributor as opposed to a publisher.
No, because I think we've managed to create an audience for ourselves, and publishers take a lot of the cut. I mean, from what I'm hearing, some publishers take 60%, you know, because they'll fund the book and then they'll take 60%. You're left with 40%. The idea is yours, and some publishers take all your rights, so now you lose the rights of your book. So for me, a publisher is a no-no for now. I'm not seeing any good publishers locally that I think should be touching our books based on what they've put out. I'm even thinking Creative Lessons. should be a publisher and publishing other people's books, because then I don't have to take I can fund the books, but I don't have to take all the money. I can take maybe 30% or 20% or whatever and stuff, because I think it's always better that way. Most publishers take a lot of money. My favorite publisher is Gestalt, and they publish Monaco magazines and other books. They publish beautiful books. So I'll rather go there, and so they have a global distribution deal that you can get into. Whereas most publishers here in South Africa and Africa don't necessarily, they're not necessarily gonna get you out there. They're gonna push you in exclusive books. Don't forget, once you get a publisher, they're gonna want to push you in exclusive books. So the publisher takes a cut, the distributor takes a cut, which is exclusive books. You're left at the bottom of the table, but then the book is yours. You see, so you're not making the most money. You're making the least money, basically. From my experience, seeing other people struggle in terms of sales and all. Because some people, for example, are famous, but then they go to a publisher, then they go to the publisher goes to a distributor. They've lost about 70% of their income. They're left with 30%, but they already have an audience that they built without those two individuals.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you don't want that kind of situation and stuff. For my experience, I don't know. Are you considering getting a publisher, the traditional ones?
Not necessarily publisher, but like maybe distribution, just to kind of see how far. I mean, look, 40% of 1,000 books sold is like better than 10 books sold on my own. But yeah, I mean, and also the goal of the book is to kind of to try get all our stories as far as possible. If we
Yeah.
can get the stories all over Africa, that would be great. So yeah, man, it is just trying to find ways of getting it out there. But I hear you on everybody getting their cuts. I mean, even on the website,
Yeah.
the pay fast to
Yeah.
use their platform for payments is already taking like 15% for no
Yeah.
reason, but I guess it's their platform. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just finding ways to keep the money in and not have to have costs to make money.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, that's my fear too, is to try and cut the cost as much as possible. I know Yoko now has a payment platform, so I think you should put that as an option for payments. Um, yeah. So I like, for me also, that splitting the cut is always an issue. I'm already thinking about, for example, with book two for creative for our What It Takes book. I was tempted to go to a publisher because now I can show them I can make sales. But I was just calculating the cost. I was like, no, I'd rather put in the energy. I'd rather put in the energy self-distributing myself, using our online store or newsletter. Rather focus on building an audience than losing
Yeah.
all that revenue. You know,
No, makes sense. Makes sense.
if I
Makes
ever go
sense.
into exclusive books, it's because I'm trying to get the name out, not necessarily because I'm trying to make money out of it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. I don't know if there's. I think that covers basically what it from inception all the way to making money. Did you skip anything? Um, yeah, I think that's mostly of it. Yeah, I
That's
think
pretty
the
much
only
it.
thing is, yeah, the only thing is why publish a book. I think is, I mean, like I said, tell good stories, tell African stories, share knowledge, highlight other creatives. I mean, you can maybe mention some of the creatives that you have in the book.
So there's 12 illustrators altogether. Ish. Thanks for putting me on the spot. Okay, there's Rendani, the president, Hani, right? There's Nene Mahlangu, there's Maseko Rakanawe, Shiloh. Um, there's this Tembiso from Dipopai. There's Lutando from World War Innovation. There's I know this. There's Hughes. He's a typography artist from Aldo's. Who
Yeah,
else? There's Kevin Smith, who's a lawyer artist. Told me. There is also Minenkulu. He's a artist, but like a print specialist. Uh, yeah, man. I don't know if that was 12, but yeah. So yeah, it's a wide variety of artists and creatives working in different fields, and yeah, just sharing their unique styles and kind of sharing their journeys And yeah, man, by way of illustration, volume one.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I'm biased, so I like it. I know I shouted you on the cover. You know, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
biased
yeah.
on.
So this Friday, the sample is being delivered. We're gonna have a look at that, and then by the end of August, pre-orders are going, deliveries are going out.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but pre-orders are closed now. But because we love the Creative Nestlings family, we're gonna have a special promo code for you guys next week. You guys can use to still get pre-order prices.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a really cool book. Really in-depth knowledge from illustrators. I've read the book already. Illustrators sharing their journeys and how they've done it and how they've built their careers and all that kind of stuff. It's a really cool book to have. Keep it as part of your collection. The book is going to be what? Buy Creative Nestlings, you get a promo price which is like $350. You get a promo code, and then the general sales is going to be $450. Osmond is
Correct.
asking about the book and stuff. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's about it from my side. If there's any other questions, please ask now, so I can get off this live and go sleep. You know, is there any questions
Get
out
back to
there about
Dillion.
self-publishing a book, basically, to the people that are here watching right now? If there's no questions, no, okay,
Let me
coolio.
ask you, what surprised you the most in putting together the book, your book?
I think what? Let's see, because ours got 60 creatives in it. Um, they're each sharing snippets. I realize that the most surprising thing is that there is so much creativity in Africa that is undocumented. We only see the few that succeed, right? So it's like, what happens to the rest? What happens to their stories? That's why books are important. Books are able to catch a big idea, like basically in a book you can put as many people as you want to. It's up to you. So that was one thing that's surprising. Like there's so much talent, there's so much inherent knowledge all around us and stuff, and that we're losing it every time someone leaves the creative industry or gets old and dies or whatever and all that kind of stuff. That was the most surprising, and also how easy it is to put together a book. It was, you know, uh, once it's done, once you're doing, you know, yeah, no. Oh, okay. So there's a question there. How do you
Um,
split all among, yeah, contributors of the book? Um, I mean, I'll be honest with you. From my side, no contributors are getting paid for being part of the book because the book is an exhibition. So we're not paying any contributors for participating in the book and stuff. They'll get a copy, and the ones that wanted to buy have already bought one already. But it's up to you. It's a choice because the cost. I'm incurring most of the cost in terms, like, or all the costs basically of the book. So the deal, depending on the deal that you have with the creatives. Like I know right now we're working on gifting all the creatives in the book a hardcover once we've done the hardcover whatever thing and stuff. And yeah, so it's up to you whether you want to split with contributors. I know some books do that when the contributors have written stuff and everything and stuff. So yeah. And your side?
yeah, also on my end, everybody came on understanding it was a collaboration to kind of get this book out. And yeah, the people that kind of did get paid were the writers, or yeah, it was the writers and the editor and the transcribers thus far.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, other than that, because those are skills that I don't have within my uh, skill sets. But yeah, uh, yeah, we'll see how the book kind of works out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's important to communicate with your contributors what the core mission of the book is. For our books, for example, we're not necessarily trying to get rich off our books. Our books are basically like a living archive of the African creative industry, and that's why we incur the cost. I know with some books they ask the contributors to write their stories and stuff, then they get paid for their time and energy and stuff. But then for us, just documenting what's happening around us and featuring people is a living exhibition, basically, and continues from a talk series. I wish I could pay everybody in the book for participating. It's just something I need to think about is how do you invest people for their time and energy and participation and stuff financially, because there's value, but then there's also financial money, So yeah.
I mean, yeah, so in researching and how the normal publishers kind of figure all of that out is they kind of guesstimate how much this writer would sell for the book or whatnot. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, split up that fee. And then once they figured out, like, okay, this book will give us 100K, then we'll take out 60K. So therefore, the writer can get 40K, but we'll give the writer 20K up front, just so that he can write it
Yeah.
and balance at the end. So, yeah, the flop with us right now is that we don't have that cash money just chilling to kind of distribute. And yeah, we're just testing these ideas. Hopefully by the second, third, fourth version of the book, volume of the book, will have enough stability to kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, it depends on your relationships with people, and your community and stuff. Yeah. But guys, publish books out there. We need more books. I want my kids to be able to go into the library and be able to pick up books on you guys, on us. Now this generation of creatives that are right here in front of us that are creating amazing work 24/7. And I think that's the danger of Instagram and stuff, that we think that it's going to be archived forever. It's not necessarily going to be there forever, and it's also not going to be easy to access, even though it's online. But books are quite good to be able to kind of get the next generation of creatives to know us more and know what we're doing, what we're thinking at the time and stuff, and what we're struggling with that. So guys, make your own books, make other people's books, feature your friends, whatever, and all that stuff. We just need more books now. I'm tired. We just need more books. But yeah. But I think that's about it before Instagram cuts us off. Thank you, Sharp-Lee, for coming on board and doing this with us. And thank you for everyone for watching and asking questions. Hopefully that gives you kind of a glimpse of how to get a book published by yourself. If you need help, I'm available anytime to kind of take questions and advise where possible and point in the right direction. Sharp-Lee is going to be available also via his Instagram account, I'm sure, just to give notes where possible. But yeah, we need more books out there to publish. So thank you guys for watching this. I'm gonna leave this on. I think you can say it's on IGTV or something. Yeah, and you also on YouTube.
Once you save, it'll be there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
And shout out to you and Creative Nestlings for always believing in the creatives, even when they don't show love back. You guys have always been there.
That's funny. They love us secretly.
I know.
No.
Until the next
No.
one.
No. Thank you guys. We'll be announcing soon the next person to be talking and stuff. If you have any suggestions, let us know. Yeah. Bookbinding workshops. So I'll find a printing person who's good at bookbinding. Henry.
Maybe Mini.
Yeah, Mini. Yeah, maybe we should try and get Mini and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll chat to him and see what we can do. But thank you guys. Before we get cut off, thank you, Osmond, everybody. Follow each other. Be nice. Wear a mask when you're going outside. Take care. Bye-bye.
Deuce.
Cheers.